When you turn on talk radio, who's the giant of talk radio? Rush. When you look at the internet, who's the giant media source of news on the internet? Newsmax, which is now trying to get its own station to rival Fox. When you look at local television, and this is what has interested a lot of the nationals because a lot of people hadn't thought about this, but Sinclair Broadcasting has now bought 4 out of 10 local TV stations, like your Channel 12, Channel 5. Sinclair doesn't own any station in Phoenix yet, but they do have stations in battleground states. And Sinclair Broadcasting is owned by the Smith family, who are very, very conservative, and they have tried to tilt their editorial content within their local news programming to the right. So all of these dynamics now are very different than the old days of Dan Rather and the New York Times. If you think any Ohioan is being swayed by an editorial in the New York Times, I mean, that's just not real. And especially any voter under the age of 50 it's not even a credible thing to think that they're being swayed by newspapers because they've never held one. A lot of them have never held one. Just a fact. So I would just encourage Republicans to begin thinking this in a more matter-of-fact way. And when you ask Republican operatives in Washington whether this is accurate or not, they all know what's going on and they'll wink at you. Conservatives have spent decades complaining about bias in the media. Now they're buying the media. And it's taking time, but conservatives in DC know what they're doing, which is the only way you're going to change media is if you own it and begin to tilt it. And that is happening. And I've told my liberal friends, you're like the frog in the pot of water. The temperature is slowly being risen on you, and you don't even recognize what's happening here. Slowly, conservatives, very quietly and methodically, are beginning to take ownership of the media, and it's a much different world in 2016 than it was back in 1985. Enjoy that chapter and email me what you think. Well, Gary Myers is going to disagree with that for sure.
Well, he's a very analytical guy, so I think he'll find it interesting.
I hope so.
When he reads about the Sinclair ownership of so many stations throughout the country.
They're called Mini Fox. In the world of local TV, they're called Mini Fox.
And you have to put this on audio for Gary.
I'm going to have Lyndon...
No, I say that because Gary listens to audiobooks. So that